Hi, how is everybody doing? I hope you're tucked in bed and ready for today's story. How was your day? Like, comment that down there. I know it kind of sounds corny and shit, but really, I want to know how your day was going. Comment. I'm gonna read them. Anyways, today I actually didn't know what I was gonna talk about. I know, shocker. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give a story because I just can't out everybody out here on this platform. Like, I want to, I can't out everybody. So instead, we're just gonna tell a story, a regular story about somebody that I know. Go into the description to know how much of it is real. It's gonna be like this semi real, semi not real thing. And today's story is about lust. Mind you, some of this is on some of this is real. It's some of this is like really real, like really real. Like stories of people being told here. Anyways, there was a boy, right? And one thing that this boy had always wanted is to be pursued or to have relations with the other gender. He's always wanted girls. And through his endeavors to get these girls, and it's never worked out right. And he's always wanted them, but he felt like he never was fit or he never could get them because he just kept getting rejected. So let's just say he made a deal with the wrong person and he upped his stats. All that he could ever wish for was to be beautiful and all the things that ever has to come with beauty. And let's just say this person did offer them the beauty that they got, that he wanted. They got the beauty that they wanted. And, well, this is how the story unfolds. He didn't get any type of attention at first from anybody at all. And when he did get these glow up, you would call it, he started to get a lot of attention from everywhere. He got the attention that he wanted and the one that he did not want. Something that most people don't talk about a lot is the when you succeed at something, there are the things that you know you would gain from that success, and there are things that you don't know you would gain from that success. Each of them all are still gains, but you just wasn't prepared for the latter. Neither was he. What happened was, by the time that he had gotten it, he got with his crushes. His crushes loved him. He could now pick from any one of them that he wanted, and it would be okay because at this point, he's beautiful. Everybody wants him. But that was the thing. Everybody wants him. And, well, it went from him being able to pick from his crushes to his crushes telling him they love him to grown men approaching him and telling him he's beautiful, to mother's friends telling him, hey, could you marry my daughter? You're so handsome. And it was all really good and fresh. I mean, sure, the regular person that had no attention to having this level of attention would get weirded out. But he did like he did get weirded out, but that's not where the story takes a dark turn at all. You see, what happened was this boy was working at a convenience store, and the convenience store that he worked at had a school behind it, and he had a little sister that attended the school. Every time that he would sell there, most of these middle schoolers would come there to buy stuff. and just having a good personality and not thinking anything of it, was friendly with all of them. The thing was, one of these girls caught feelings for him, deep feelings. I'm talking a lot of feelings, and he didn't even have to do much. It was more of a, he just had to stand there and look pretty kind of thing. Just, she would get obsessed by the smallest things that he would do, whether it would be just selling her things. She thought, damn, he's beautiful and we have great communication. She just buys stuff. There was no other communications. And well, she was obsessed. She told his little sister that he liked, that she liked him. Let's name this guy Kyle. This girl told Kyle's sister that she really liked Kyle. But the thing was, Kyle's sister was really young, and the girl too was also really young. They were both minors in school, and she wouldn't stop talking about how great your relationship was. But she decided, you know what, she's gonna take a bold step and ask Kyle for his number. Um, Kyle never gave the number because Kyle doesn't play with the kids, and the kids really wanted to play. And she got kind of upset and decided to voice her feelings to Kyle. Kyle rejected them, as he should, and well, life kind of went on. The thing is, Kyle kind of moved forward with his life and just went on with this new kind of fame that he got. It wasn't even fame, it was just this new people seeing him. The thing was, he started getting hate from some of his friends because it's like they started acting a certain way towards him. He couldn't just understand. He didn't he didn't get it. It's like they would be like, it was like this condescending kind of attitude towards him. He never sensed it before, but now after this deal that he made, it's like, damn. It's like he can feel it and he doesn't know how to take it. He didn't know what changed because he doesn't have money. He's not out of the hood. He's still in the hood. He hasn't changed attitudes, but his friends, they treat him differently. And for some reason, he couldn't maintain any friendship with women. At the end of the day, they still want to touch him. Older women wanted to touch him, younger women wanted to touch him. And that was the crazy thing. The thing was, Kyle ended up going to boarding school. And when he went to boarding school, he attracted a lot of attention. Mind you, in boarding school, you're separated into dorms, and these dorms have boys and girls. You had girls staying together and boys staying together. Um, Kyle's roommate touched him because Kyle was so beautiful. He couldn't resist. Kyle was homophobic, fucked up his day. That's not the only thing. Kyle went from there to, now realizing he's a sexual commodity for everybody that he meets, male, mind you. So he decided, you know what, instead, he'll just leave boarding school and try to get his life together back at home. And when he went back at home, he realized that these older women too wanted a piece of him, from taking his number, asking for help. People would listen to this and they'll be like, oh my God, it's heaven. It's heaven if he like kind of really wanted it. But the thing was, he was scoring with the people he wanted. Like he got the people he wanted, but it's all the people he didn't want that were coming on to him. It got so messed up to the point where Kyle went to visit his friend, and Kyle, mind you, didn't have any money, right? So Kyle was hungry. he went to his friend and he was expressing to his friend how broke he was. Kyle's friend was speaking to his mother, and his mother had expressed to Kyle's friend's mother had expressed to Kyle's friend how much she would like to have intercourse with Kyle. So when the problem propped up that Kyle needed some money, guess what Kyle did? hmm Yeah, Kyle had no choice. The thing was, it got to a point where Kyle didn't see things for what they are. Human beings, you couldn't even see it like, when a woman gets used. Kyle didn't see it like that anymore. He saw it as like he can he can just get it with anybody. It felt like he had to protect himself and give himself to a certain degree because, mind you, Kyle was very lustful. All of these encounters, sexual encounters that happened, except the one with the male, Kyle consented to them. He liked them, but he didn't know how much of them were changing him. Kyle loved women. He loved the art of intercourse, but he never knew that it could mess it up this much. And in 2 minutes, y'all will understand why. The thing was, when Kyle was working at this convenience store, his mom did always approach him. Mind you, I keep telling you this. His mom's friends did always approach him, and not they specifically because they would ruin the relationship they had with Kyle's mom, but they'd always go and be like, Kyle, you have to get with my daughter. Grown men that never knew Kyle would walk up to Kyle and tell Kyle, "Hey man, you're really beautiful. Would you like my daughter?" and things like that. And sure, it was flattering, but they were serious. And anytime Kyle would reject them, it would rub off quite differently. And so Kyle just consented to them. And Kyle got betrothed to three women. Mind you, Kyle is still quite young. We don't know if he'll marry all three of them, but all these parents, he was trying to keep all these people happy. But the thing was, he'd always hope that these girls would, at the end of the day, say they don't like him, but they all did. He was beautiful. Kyle did have relationships though, but that was the thing. With all the women that Kyle would hop on and off of, remember all the crushes, all the women that he liked, all the people that he just dipped in, they were obsessed with him. Kyle can't break up with them. They will kill him. I am not kidding. Kyle had to change cities because of the type of girls that he was dealing with. They did not want to leave him. Anytime Kyle would have fights with these multiple amounts of his girlfriends, they would just have panic attacks, threaten to kill themselves. He didn't know how to leave these hostage situations, so he'd just cheat and do terrible things in hopes that they would leave him. They didn't, and he felt like they were holding on to his neck. One day, Kyle decides to move away from the city that he was in the boarding school and come back home to the city that he grew up in, the one with the city with the convenience store. Kyle came home one time, and by the time that he had come home, um, his sister was like telling him to run an errand with her. You know, just go with her. They did go, and the sister pointed out that, hey, Kyle, remember the girl that used to have a huge crush on you that attended my school? Yeah, this is where she lives, you know. And Kyle decided to, kind of pass by, but he realized there was a funeral that was happening there, and it was the girl. She passed, but Kyle, who ended up did being friends with a family friend of that girl's, asked, "Hey, what's going on?" And they're like, Yeah, she offed herself. Her brother wants to speak to you. The girl wrote a letter on how Kyle didn't accept her, and for that reason, she offed herself. Kyle didn't like his beauty anymore. To that point, it was always threats, like, hey, our crazy exes saying they'll off themselves. Kyle never thought anybody would do that. Not for him, Kyle. They, she did it. But what was he to do? The confliction there was crazy. What was he to do? He couldn't have taken her childhood away from her. But he just wishes he could have handled the situation better. He didn't. He couldn't handle it better. He went into a drought. But that's the thing. Remember when I said he had all this attention, crazy exes? Kyle never had time for himself at all. He couldn't have a moment of silence because a lot of people liked to have him. His company was needed. He never had his own company because everybody wanted his company. He can't sit down and relax and have his own time because people want their own time. It's like that whole thing where they're like, they want to be alone together. Kyle wants to be alone, but he wants to be alone together with Kyle. Kyle was tired of being around people, but people just wanted Kyle. Kyle was like this accessory. Nobody ever thought of what he could be like or what else, what other interests he had. It's just he's a beautiful guy. That's it. That's that's the whole train of thought. Whenever people saw Kyle, hmm, quite a handsome guy, handsome dude. They don't care that he liked certain things. They didn't care that he was kind of intelligent. They didn't care about nothing else. It's like, yeah, that's a smart. That's a beautiful looking guy. That's all there is. So what happened to Kyle? Kyle got really, really, really suicidal, and um, you know what? This is gonna be a five-part series. I'll only tell you what happened to Kyle at the end of the next series, which is going to be 2 out of 5. This is 1 out of 5. There's going to be 2 out of 5. Um, my art for today. This is my art for today. Fuck. Please, please buy my art. Please buy my art. Fix your posture. You're too hunched over.